is this a high conviction trade or not? I think there's a couple of very important points that I want to make about this, right? I think firstly, remember that when we post any type of trade ideas, let me just grab that on the screen here for a second. When we post any type of trade ideas in the terminal, they're not intended as trade calls. We call them ideas for a reason. We are not financial advisors, and our insights and analysis and our reporting, our trade ideas, they're not investing advice at all, right? And it's never a solicitation to buy or sell anything either, right? It's commentary on the market. It's the way that we are viewing the market, the way that we are approaching the markets right now. So first, I think that's a very important thing to always keep in mind. Secondly, and this is a really important one, every trader needs to take the responsibility of making sure that they follow sound risk management principles for any trade that you take, right? So if you say that you're currently down 30% on your account, then that can mean one of two things. Firstly, it either means that you're trading with a very, very small trading account, which means that even at a low leverage or at a one-to-one, maybe with a very small lot size, even you might be down by that much just because the account might be very, very small. And I wouldn't really advise trading with such a small account if that's the case. Alternatively, it means that you traded the dollar yen with a massive amount of leverage, right? Which again, that's never something that we would ever really advise to do. So, I think it's important to make sure that you understand the basics of risk management before even attempting to trade in the financial markets. Failing at risk management will almost certainly lead to consistent losses in the long run, and eventually leading to accounts being blown up. The statistics are very, very clear on that front. So that's important to keep in mind. Another point here, and I think this links up with the one I just mentioned, is never put too much focus or conviction or faith in one specific individual trade, right? Even with excellent analysis, even with massive amounts of conviction, every single trade that you take still has only a 50-50 outcome. Even a higher probability or a higher probability trade will still come down to a coin toss statistically, because you just don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? We try and trade in line with higher probabilities to give us an edge in the markets, but having an edge doesn't mean that you will win 100% of the time. Having an edge means that you have a specific process, and if you repeat that process over a very long time, it should have a positive expected return in the long run. So taking one trade and betting like the house on it, I think that's a sure way to lose money in this game. I've seen it way, way too many times and heard way too many examples of traders thinking that a trade is a done deal, it's a sure winner, and then ending up blowing up accounts because they bet way too much on just one specific trade. The other point I want to discuss is about accuracy. In my opinion, I think we as a team, we have a really, really excellent team at Financial Source, and in my opinion, the content that we deliver is high quality content. I think we've got a really good track record with our analysis as well. But like any other trader slash analyst slash economist slash firm out there, we won't get everything right all the time. That is not possible, right? On the contrary, we've shared many mistakes that we've made, many losing trades that we've had, where things just didn't work out. Having losing trades is part of the game, and being wrong on a trade is part of the game. Some of the best traders in the industry has a track record where they only have about a 52 or 54% winning average, right? So let that sink in. That means that they lose close to half of all of the trades that they take. That means that out of every 10 trades, they know that they'll lose about 4 of them. And that's very important to understand. We will, as analysts, we will get things wrong and we will make mistakes. Sometimes, it'll just be bad luck if the markets doesn't move the way that we expect it to or think that they should. And other times, it might just be down to us not having the right idea in the first place, right? The right analysis in the first place, the right timing maybe, which is something that for me as a trader, I usually do struggle with timing. As many of our long-term subscribers can vouch for, another mistake that I often make is picking. I have a very, very good skill of picking the exact turnaround level for my stops. Sometimes, you guys have seen it happen many times where I have a stop. I mean, dollar yen was a good example. I think my stop for that trade earlier the year was sitting at, was it 116.20, I think, and look at where the market's turned around. So that's something that I often get wrong, is not giving enough room to breathe for trades. Now, the point of me telling you this is that just because we have an idea, it doesn't mean that that idea is going to be right. There's no guarantee, right? That means that just because we post a trade idea, it doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be a winner every single time. Every trade we take will have the potential of being a losing trade, and that's just part of the game. So, I mean, with dollar yen, it's just another trade, right? I'm currently just in the profit with this trade. And am I stressed about it right now? Am I worried about it? Not really, because it's just one trade, right? I've got my stop marked out. I'm not risking too much. I'm not over leveraging on it. It's just another trade. Am I prepared that it could end up being a loser? Absolutely, right? If you can't accept the likelihood or the possibility of a loss, then you shouldn't be in that trade at all, right? So how will I feel if it ends up being a losing trade? I won't be celebrating, but it won't, it won't hurt my account because I've done the risk management correctly, and it won't, cause emotional baggage because it's just another trade. So, I'm always more concerned with getting my process right than focusing on individual trades. So, for example, our process has allowed us to take a couple of good trades recently, in my opinion, at least. I mean, we had a really good run with that euro sterling trade. We got out at the right time, I think, with this one. Aussie CAD has been a really good run. We had what else did we have recently? I mean, we had the gold trade. It was such a tiny trade if you compare it to the trend we've had, but we had a good gold trade last week. There was also the euro dollar trade at the same time with the gold trade. So I think the process is where the focus should be. If you have a solid process and a repeatable process of finding tradable opportunities, you don't have to go and risk massive amounts on one single idea. If you just do solid risk management and you follow a process that has a higher probability than not than making money, then that should be okay. So we're not trading and betting our life savings on one trade and hoping that we'll be the next George Soros and hit the jackpot of having that one massive monster trade. For us, it's a game for the long run. It's a process we use to try and outperform traditional investing avenues with the eye again on the long run. It's never a focus on the trade I'm in right now or the one that I'm going to take tomorrow. It's the focus over the next 100 and the next 1,000 trades, and the only way that you're going to be there for that next 100 and next 1,000 trades is making sure that the risk management is solid. So, I really want to encourage you to make sure that you understand these points, because not understanding this will lead to disappointment, as you've been experiencing right now. So make sure to get the risk management sorted first. Make sure to start developing a more probability focused mindset instead of a guarantee focused mindset, right? The only thing that's certain in the financial markets is uncertainty. That's the only certainty that you'll get, is that things will be uncertain. There's never going to be guarantees. There are no holy grails. There's no secret sauce. The only thing that works, just like any other career in this game, is putting in a lot of hard work, putting in a lot of time, a lot of dedication, and obviously making lots of mistakes along the way. But make sure that you allow yourself the time and the room for error with risk management to be able to make those mistakes. Otherwise, trading is most likely not going to be something that you're going to be doing in the long run. So I do hope that helps with the question. As always, any other questions, don't hesitate to let us know. And as a closing point, make sure risk management, that before you even think about adding a trade or entering any trade, whether it's an idea from me or from anybody else, make sure that the risk management, that should be the first place that you start, making sure that you know exactly what you could lose and that you're comfortable losing that. This isn't gambling, it's trading. So do make sure risk management, always a major cornerstone of any type of trading strategy. So I hope that helps.